guys, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to sign on this morning and talk a little bit about Carnival's new rewards program and my feelings on that and where we're going from here. As a lot of you know, we have exclusively sailed Carnival for almost 18 years now. We've had opportunities to go on other lines, but we felt like we were going to remain loyal to Carnival because they were being loyal to us. We were giving them our money. We were selling with them exclusively. We were building our loyalty membership, and we finally made it to Platinum on our last cruise, and we were just going to continue on and shoot for Diamond and go for there. They don't have a lot of perks. I mean, I've looked at other lines and their perks are better, but we've enjoyed Carnival. Food's good. It is a fun ship. We're not real big partiers, so we are not really on the Lido deck a lot or doing a lot of nightclubs or anything like that, but we enjoyed the ship, and we enjoyed being able to get your free drink coupons, get your priority boarding, priority off the ship. They can say what they want about they have too many loyal customers, they have too many people. And yeah, cruise is about the fun, and I get that, and I'm not down in Carnival, and I'm not saying I'll never sail with Carnival again. I will, if they're going where I want to go, or if the price is right for when I want to go. But this has really opened my eyes to, it's all about the money, it's all about the business. And I get that in a way, but in a way I'm like, how can you say you have too many customers with a high loyal level? So because of the way the rewards program, the new rewards program is designed, what they're basically telling us is buy your way to our loyalty. The more money you give us, the more loyalty you'll have. And even though you choose us and you don't spend $16,000 per person in your family to maintain your platinum status, or $33,000 to maintain your diamond status, or to reach your diamond status, we're just going to shove you back down to the bottom and let you start over every time. Because who can spend that much money in 2 years? There may be some people, I'm sure, people that make really high six-figure incomes, spending $33,000 in 2 years is not a big deal. But it's half of my annual salary, and I can't spend that in 2 years. So I'll never be able to maintain my platinum status that I have worked for almost 18 years to gain. So it's a little disheartening. It's a little disappointing. It's a little sad even. As much time as we have given. And we're not like those people that get on the boat and don't spend any money either. We get on the boat and we spend, sometimes we've spent over $2,000 extra charged to our card on a cruise. It's usually between $1,000 and $1,500 each cruise that we take, that we spend when we're on the ship. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but never, I don't think we've ever gotten on a cruise without spending at least $800. But it's normally more than that. I think our last cruise, and I can't remember exactly, but I think we had like a $1,300 bill when we walked off the ship. So it's not the point that we haven't spent our money. We do. And we have taken up to 2 cruises a year, but I teach, so I only get off in the summer, and I'm only off on like a week or two here on a holiday there, at Christmas time or spring break or whatever. So there's not a whole lot of opportunities throughout the year that I can sail. So we are just limited to sail certain times of the year. And so that also limits us as to how much we spend and how often. Now, sometimes we get a balcony, sometimes we get an interior room. We never stay in a suite because we just don't feel like that is worth it. I mean, because honestly, we never spend a lot of time in the room, and the only time we ever get a balcony room is like when we went to Alaska, when we sailed on the Mardi Gras last year. We got a balcony because it was our first time on the ship, and it was the biggest ship we'd ever been on, and so we got a balcony then, but we don't always get a balcony. When you're going to be at sea all the time and there's nothing really to view but the ocean, you can do that from the deck. And so a lot of times we'll get an interior room. Like I said, we're hardly ever in the room except to sleep. So we're not going to be trying to get a suite every time we go on a cruise. So that's just not us. We're not gamblers. We don't gamble. We don't go to the casino. I can probably count. I can count with 2 fingers the number of times I've been in a casino. Well, actually 3, because we went to eat one time at a casino, but we're not gamblers. We don't gamble our money. So that's not an option. My husband's about to retire, so we've been working on paying our credit card off. So going on and just spending $16,000 or $33,000 on a credit card just to keep status, and it's a spending status. So let's be clear about that. It's not a loyalty status. It's a spending status. It's like, how much money can you give me status? So I think the two should be separate. The loyal people that have stayed with you for years, that kept you open during COVID, that did all those things, those should be separate. I don't care if all I get is priority boarding and laundry. That's not why I did it. So what we've done, and I don't mind saying this, is we just booked a cruise on Royal Caribbean. We just got status matched to MSC, and we'll talk about MSC here in a minute. But Royal Caribbean, we've never sailed before. We have friends that are faithful to that line. We've always sailed Carnival because that's the first ship we took when we booked the first time. We enjoyed it, and we said, why book on another ship when we can earn our status here and work our way up? So, Carnival's a good cruise line. It is. They've just kind of ticked a lot of people off, and myself included. I have been upset about it. Not to the point where I would bash them, because to me, there's nothing to bash. They're a great line. But it kind of hurts your feelings a little bit as a loyal customer who has given almost 18 years to this cruise line and remained loyal, and just kind of feel like their end of loyalty has just been, we don't care anymore how loyal you are to us. We just want your money. So that's what made us book on Royal. So now we are going to try Royal. We are going to take a second cruise to Alaska. We cruised with Carnival for our first cruise to Alaska. It was a wonderful cruise. We had a great time. That was on our 20th wedding anniversary. This will be our 37th. And yeah, so we have cruised with Carnival between all that. before our 20th, and now. So I guess we've been selling with them longer than 17, 18 years. It's been a long time. Okay, it's hard to keep up with. So we booked with Royal. We're going to be on Anthem of the Seas, and we're going to be doing Alaska. And our travel agent, who we are friends with and have used since she booked our very first cruise, actually went on our very first cruise. We went on our very first cruise with her and her family. And we booked that because my daughter and her son were kind of not really dating. They were in junior high, but they were liking each other at the point and seeing each other a lot from movies and such as that. So we booked and loved it and have loved it since. But now I just kind of feel like, hey, this kind of opens me up. They're taking away my loyalty status. I have to pay to earn it back, as far as, not that I haven't paid all along, but with me and my husband together, it would be half of my annual income, and it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, we're going on Royal Caribbean. We've got a balcony room on the starboard side. We have 10 months. We've already paid for it, but we have 10 months before we go. And yes, we always get the insurance. Every cruise we've ever taken, do not go without getting the insurance. Okay. It may be a couple of $100 extra, but it's so worth it. Okay. My daughter's already had to use hers, when her honeymoon cruise had to be canceled. So, always get the insurance. That's just a freebie here I'm throwing in. So we're excited. We're going with some friends who have never cruised before, and they actually reached out to us and said, hey, we'd like to vacation with y'all. We'd like to take a cruise. We've never been, and we'd like for y'all to kind of show us how it's done. So they're going with us. We're going to kind of show them how it's done on a line we've never been on before. But, a lot of your cruise things is basic to every cruise line. But our travel agent just got off of this very cruise on Anthem of the Seas. And she went with her husband and some friends, and she said it was the best cruise she's ever taken, best ship she's ever been on. And she has, let me tell you, she has traveled the world. She has been on all the ships, every line. I mean, she knows what she's talking about. So I was like, okay, so we'll book that one. So we booked that one, got a good deal on it. Like I said, got the balcony on the starboard side. And so we're excited about that trip. We're excited to try another line. Will we be totally faithful to Royal Caribbean? I don't know. I mean, they still have their loyalty program, and it looks like a good one if they don't go and change it like Carnival did, which is entirely possible. But we've also, we got that book, but we've also status matched with MSC. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on MSC, and even my travel agent said she wasn't really impressed. But I've heard, like, Tony on the Lita Loca talk about, briefly on a video I watched the other day, MSC, and I don't think he was real impressed the first time he went, but he since went again, and I believe it was Tony, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, apparently they've had some improvement, and I also saw another guy talking about it. He was rating the 10 top cruises, or the top cruises out of Galveston, and so he did mention MSC and how they have made some improvements. They're a European line, and they came to America just a few short years ago, and so they've made some improvements. And he said even his second cruise was better. So, and I have a friend that exclusively cruises MSC, and she loves it. So I guess it depends on the ship and where you are. But we were looking at things close to us, Galveston, New Orleans, Mobile, to see what cruised out of there. And obviously our Alaska cruise is going to leave out of Seattle, but we're very excited about it. And we're very excited about getting status matched on MSC. Now, I was platinum on, or I am platinum on Carnival at least for 2 more years past May 31st, 2026. Their new program starts on June 1st. I really wish they would go back on it. I'm hoping that over the next few months that people have stood by what they've said in they're not rebooking with Carnival. They're like me, you know, oh, I'm going to try something new. And I'm hoping they see a decrease, not because I wish their business ill will, but I'm just hoping they see how important it is, not only for customers to be loyal to them, but for them to be loyal to their customers. And I don't know that I want to be on a ship where your money is what matters when it comes to building a status, a loyalty. I can see a spending rewards program, whatever. And you know, how many points is it going to take on their rewards program to buy the things? And, you know, why, you know, is it really going to be worth it? I guess time will tell, but I'm not exclusive Carnival anymore, and I will not be exclusive Carnival again. I will still sell them. They are a good line to sell, but it's going to be based on destination and when availability of cruises are, and not because I'm remaining loyal to exclusively only them. So excited about my Royal Caribbean cruise. Excited that I've status matched on MSC, which what I was trying to get at is I'm platinum on Carnival. I will be gold on MSC, but that's the way their levels line up. Their levels are a little different than Carnival. And MSC offers, from what I can tell, a lot of things that are included that are, you know, not included with Carnival. And we've also looked at Virgin. We can pretty much status match with them, and there's no kids on Virgin. So I don't have any young kids. And sometimes, and I don't mind being on a ship with kids, but sometimes parents don't make their kids mind, and kids can be obnoxious and really kind of rude sometimes. And then you see kids that are great, they're very well mannered, they're disciplined, and you know, maybe that's how accidents happen on ships and kids fall overboard and stuff. I'm not saying that. Kids can easily get away from you. I have a kid to prove that when she was younger. So, you know, no blame there, but I'm just saying, if you're on a cruise and you take your kids, pay attention to them and make them mind and make them use their manners and not be rude to people. But anyway, Virgin Cruises, we do want to try them as well. They sell out of Miami, but I'm really hoping, and they sell out of a few more places too, but I'm really hoping that they sell out of Galveston eventually. And then, you know, Galveston's doing the big port enlargement and all that. So I'm really hoping that would be good. It's 8 hours from us. Well, really about 7, 6.5, 7, depending on how many times you stop. So, you know, Virgin we want to try. And they have a lot of stuff included in their price. Like, and another thing I like about Virgin is their price is for room. You pay for the room, not per person. And they're reasonable. And I've heard they're good. So I've heard good things about Virgin, and I want to try them. Just to give it a go. So, Norwegian Cruise Lines, I signed up with them. And goodness gracious, I'm just going to tell you, if you sign up with them, they're going to, at least for a couple of weeks, just call you daily. And so I've had to just decline, because I signed up because I wanted to be ready if we found a cruise. Because when we were looking for our Alaska cruise, we were looking at all lines and trying to figure out, you know, and when we contacted our travel agent, we said, we don't care what line, even Carnival, we'll sell Carnival if they have the better deal. But lucky for us, she had just come off of this cruise and she was just raving about it. And when it's the best cruise you've ever taken, and you have taken literally likely 100 or more cruises, then that's saying something, because she's been sailing a lot longer than I have. So there's a lot of things we want to do. There's a lot of cruise ships we want to cruise on. And so we're just gonna like see, okay, where they're going, and is that something we want to do? And that's what we're gonna do. And we want to start taking a few European and international cruises as well. Obviously there's disruption in some parts of the world right now, and those would be places we would avoid with cruises. But we would really like to go back to Italy. We'd really like to go to Ireland. We'd really like to go to Holland, to Greece, to different places. And we'd like to go to some places we didn't go when we went to Europe. So we're going to be trying more lines. And if Carnival happens to have a cruise to some of those places that we want to go and it looks good, obviously we will book with Carnival. But we're not exclusive Carnival anymore. And I know several people that are not exclusive Carnival anymore. People that are disgruntled enough to cancel a cruise and lose their deposit, that should speak volumes to Carnival. I have not looked at Princess. I have not looked at Costa. I have not looked at other lines that the Carnival Corporation owns. I probably will, but my first choices are going to be those that are not owned by Carnival Corporation. Not because I'm trying to be facetious or, you know, I just feel like if I'm going to spend money and I'm not going to, you know, get any loyalty out of it, and I'm just going to hop around and do all these different lines, then I'm going to give my money somewhere to somebody who, if I were to be loyal to them, they would be loyal to me, or I feel like they would. So, of course, I've been burned before with that, with Carnival. So, like I said, I'm not bashing Carnival. They're a great line, and we will likely sell them again at some point, but we're not just looking for Carnival cruises anymore, which we used to do. And I've noticed my emails have really increased since all of this. We've always gotten several promotional emails from Carnival, but it seems like almost every day now I'm getting something, and I don't know if that's an indication of anything, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. So what are your thoughts? You know, put in the comments below what your thoughts are on this and what your intentions are. I just think it's important for us to get it out there. I'm not a big YouTuber. I've got a channel, but I don't make money, and I don't try to make money, and I just like to share. So that was the purpose of this video, to get on and share and just kind of tell you where we're at as loyal or past loyal Carnival cruisers, and where our future lies. We're just going to spread out and just try all different lines, and we also want to try Celebrity, and I understand they're part of Royal, and that they will status match with Royal. So if we do a few cruises on Royal and we decide to do a Celebrity, we'll status match with them, and You know, if we build something with either one, we do, and if we don't, we don't. Um, I'm not going to be burned again. So just let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you stand. Let me know where your next cruise is and where you're going. And I'll see you on the flip side. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great day. Subscribe to my channel. I do cooking. I do crafts. I do stuff like this. So just let me know.